Today we're going to talk about claim evidence reasoning, or your CER, and you just watched an ed puzzle going over what a CER is, but I'm going to walk you through some things that are specific for my class or my expectations and how I really want you to structure your CER. So why do we do a CER? Something I really liked about the ed puzzle is the pointing out the fact that a CER, if you're really good at a claim evidence reasoning, a CER paragraph, that's really just good argumentation. So I'm sure, being teenagers, that you have had to argue your point with anything, with something before, whether it be with a teacher, whether it be with a parent, a grandparent, a relative, a brother or sister. I'm sure that you've probably had to argue your point. So claim evidence reasoning is arguing your point, but scientifically. So you're saying, okay, here was my question. This is my answer to my question. Here's the evidence that I have that supports that. And this is the scientific reasoning behind why that evidence supports that claim. It's really forming good argumentation abilities. So scientists need to be able to summarize their findings to communicate them with the community at large. There are lots of scientific studies that have been communicated through either the newspaper, on TV, in the news. There are scientific studies that we're talking about every single day, all of the time right now. So it's really important to be able to summarize what the findings are in a quick, concise manner that's right to the point. So a CER is a way to write that scientific explanation. You've probably become really used to the framing of a CER. So you've been given graphic organizers before, and you have, okay, this is my claim, and you list your evidence and you talk about why that evidence supports your claim with reasoning. Okay. And maybe you have, maybe you haven't put that in a paragraph form. But what the end goal for a CER and for all of your science classes is to get you to be able to write a formal paragraph. That's your conclusion paragraph, and that's a claim evidence reasoning. You're also using the same exact tool in your English classes because I've talked to your English teachers before. So I know that you're doing your claim evidence reasoning paragraphs. You're also doing them in your history classes, your claim evidence reasoning. So your claim evidence reasoning is you're kind of incorporating that in your DBQs in history. So this isn't something brand new. We're just looking at it from a science perspective. Now, in the scientific community, when you move on, you could be presenting your CER in the form of a poster presentation, which is what a lot of postdocs or doctoral students do. They present at science conventions. You could present in a PowerPoint. I might be teaching you something and I'm giving you a claim, and then I'm giving you evidence and reasoning to support that claim. So another way that you could be presenting that is in a journal article. There are a lot of scientific journal articles out there. If you've ever worked at a lab before, then maybe you've worked on a project where you've been published in a scientific journal. We've had students at school who have been published before working with labs while they've been in high school. So it is possible. Now, what your CER is going to be, what your final draft is going to be, you're going to use your graphic organizer that you're given. And I'm going to give you just one example of a graphic organizer, but there are lots out there. You're going to use that graphic organizer to help you organize your thoughts into a clear, concise paragraph. Your final CER will be a full paragraph starting with your claim and supporting your claim with your evidence. Each piece of evidence needs to be solidly supported with some kind of reasoning, okay? And that reasoning needs to be scientifically backed. It's got to be scientific evidence that's showing that your evidence is supporting your claim. So you're using scientific vocabulary, scientific terms. Your claim must be a testable statement, and it's going to directly answer the original question. You always want to make a statement. You don't want to make it a question. Now, a lot of people will say your claim is like your hypothesis, and it kind of, but in the end, so your hypothesis is what your prediction is before the experiment. But your claim is saying, this is what I found to be true. So I think that that's where there's a big misconception right there. So your claim is not going to be an if-then statement always. Sometimes it can be because you've proven your hypothesis to be correct, but your claim is a statement of something that you have proven through your experimentation. So how do you know if it's a good claim? Well, first, it needs to be direct. It needs to be to the point. And I say no fluff and butterflies. In English, you're going to add all of these super great descriptive words when you're writing a story. And you're not going to do that here. You're not writing a story. You're telling facts. You're giving information. So you want to be straight to the point, useful sentences, useful transition words, but just make sure that you're straight to the point, okay? And also make sure that you're directly answering the questions. Don't go off on a tangent. Don't include stuff that has nothing to do with the experiment. Don't include stuff that has nothing to do with your claim. Be very direct, to the point. No fluff and butterflies and like the just really like the steel blue. It was something, it turned blue, something like that. You don't need to include fluff and butterflies. So your evidence can be quantitative and it can be qualitative, and it's something that you collected in your experiment, some data that you collected. And so that could be observations that you made. And so you need to make sure that you're using relevant data. If it's not relevant, if it's not supporting your claim, don't include it in your paragraph. So be sure that it's relevant, and that it sufficiently supports your claim. Does it directly support the claim? If not, don't include it. You need enough evidence to support your claim. I really want to say at least 3 pieces of evidence, but as you're just starting out, maybe 2 pieces of evidence. If it's really good evidence, I would say college prep, let's focus on 2, and honors, let's focus on 3 pieces of evidence. And also, don't use personal pronouns in any of your paragraphs. So scientific writing, you don't use words like I or we or our, okay? Now your reasoning needs to use scientific principles. So you learned a lot of different scientific principles in this unit. So you want to use scientific principles and knowledge that you have about the topic to explain why your evidence or your data is supporting your claim. You want to include scientific vocabulary and don't use personal pronouns. Again, I have pointed that out now twice because it's very important. Go through your paragraph, make sure that you don't have words like I or we or our. So I really like this graphic organizer more than any of the other graphic organizers I've seen for the claim evidence reasoning. And the reason for that is because you can write, okay, what's your question first? So your question in this case is going to be, what causes the gas tanker to implode? And some people have used the word explode and some people have used the word implode. Implode means that it's going in, crushing in on itself. Explode would mean that it's blowing up and blowing out from the inside out. So your question is, what causes the gas tanker to implode? Now, you're going to come up with your claim. What is your claim? What specifically causes that? And then you're going to give me your different pieces of evidence that you've collected. And then after you've given me your pieces of evidence, you're then going to say, okay, this is how that evidence supports that claim. This is how that evidence supports that claim. And that's where it says reason on the side. So, and I like that this graphic organizer connects them. So this evidence connects to the claim. This evidence connects to the claim with this reason, okay? And then it says something about transition words. So you're going to use transition words there. I've included in this slide, I've included all of the different transition words. This is to help you just form your sentences, making sure that everything is scientific, straight to the point, direct, okay? Again, no fluff and butterflies. So here are a whole bunch of transition words that will help you form your full paragraph of your claim evidence reasoning. Some people will ask, well, how long should it be? For this case, I would like for it to be about a half a page to a full page, but it just needs to be enough information. So I'm going to give you some examples right now of ones that are really short CER paragraphs, okay? So again, here are the transition words to help you make your full paragraphs, okay? Now, here are some example CER paragraphs that I pulled from a science teacher in the district. Our first one is, and I've highlighted the claim, I have underlined and highlighted in pink the evidence, and then the blue is highlighted is the reasoning with transition words. So one CER paragraph was labeled reaction to, and the question I'm assuming was what type of reaction takes place when hydrogen peroxide comes in contact with a potato. When hydrogen peroxide comes in contact with a potato, it decomposes. Notice that's straight to the point, and it straight answers the question. Potatoes contain the enzyme catalase, which speeds up decomposition reactions. During the reaction, bubbles formed around the potato as soon as it came in contact with hydrogen peroxide. The bubbles indicated gas, and gas is forming. To test for the presence of oxygen gas, a blown-out splint was placed in the test tube. The glowing ember became brighter and redder, confirming oxygen was produced. There was also a liquid left in the test tube, so other product had to be water instead of hydrogen gas. So that should say another product. Mind you, these are straight student examples. So while it might not be absolutely perfect, it's a pretty good example of a CER paragraph. The next question, what type of reaction takes place between magnesium and hydrochloric acid? So our claim, when magnesium is added to hydrochloric acid, a single displacement reaction occurs. Done, to the point. A single metal or element reacting with a compound is a clear indicator that a single displacement reaction is occurring. Hydrochloric acid readily breaks apart into ions, and magnesium is a highly reactive metal. When the magnesium touched the acid, it immediately started fizzing until it dissolved completely and the test tube became hot. Now, I would probably, that underlined part, the hydrochloric acid readily breaks apart into ions and magnesium is a highly reactive metal. I would actually say that's probably a reasoning and not evidence, because it's not evidence from the exact lab. The disappearance of the metal indicates it broke down into ions. The fizzing also indicates a gas was formed. So I would almost say, see, the fizzing and the disappearance of the metal, those are both evidence as well. Placing a lit flame at the surface of the test tube produced a pop. This pop was evidence of hydrogen gas being present, reigniting the lit flame. Since the hydrogen gas left the test tube, the remaining solution must have been magnesium chloride. So this is actually showing what a single displacement reaction is and what the reactants are and what the products are. So this is beyond where we are right now in the scope in this class, but hopefully you can see where your claim is, your evidence, and your reasoning, and that it all kind of blends together and everything's mixed together. So I hope that that was helpful for you. If you have questions, please be sure to reach out at spalechek, SPALECHEK, @guhsd.net. Thank you.